1975 was a year full of great beginnings. The country was introduced to shows like Wheel of Fortune and The Jeffersons. The iconic Space Mountain opened up at Disney World. We redefined genius with the invention of the Rubik's Cube. And Peter Gabriel leaves the band Genesis, allowing for a new beginning behind the vocals of Phil Collins. There were many great events and new beginnings that took place in 1975. But there's one that might not be as well known. 1975 was the beginning of the Ask Childhood Cancer Foundation.
There was a mass that surrounded the backside of the eye. Being diagnosed in 1994, the only time I had ever been around cancer was when one of the kids across the street, his grandparents lived there, he was diagnosed and he died. I remember sitting at the kitchen table and the first words popped out of my mouth is, when am I gonna die?
When they did the CT scan, they saw a mass in her head. There's a brain tumor and it's in a bad spot. Surgery alone is scary, but to think that you're going into the brain, you know, we were devastated.
Me growing up, tumor means cancer, and cancer means death. It's a brain stem. It's like one false move, and you know, I go in with my daughter and I come out without.
Although their diagnoses are 30 years apart, Aaron and Zuri, as well as countless other kids and families, have been bridged together by Ask through relationships built on assistance, support, and kindness that have lasted a lifetime.
Ask has changed a lot over the years, let me say that.
At that time, the clinic was located on the ground floor in the North Hospital. So you were treated with adults, and there was also a little pediatric area, probably about the size of a normal living room.
Well, we had a very small clinic, you know, and we shared the space with inmates even. I can remember when I was president of Ask in the late 90s, Ask didn't even hardly have money for us to buy pizza for clinic. And I say that story all the time, but it's so true.
Served on the board for 6 years. Over that 6 years, just the growth in the interest in Ask really became presence. You know, the community really got involved. People started embracing Ask.
Ask, every step of the way, they've said, we'd like to help you develop these programs. What can we do? And they provided the funds and the resources to make it happen.
Ask was able to provide education specialist, Alma Morgan, who was able to go to the middle school with me and explain my diagnosis to the teachers. That time, I think I was the first student that had came across that had cancer that they had to deal with, so they really didn't know what to expect from a treatment standpoint, the time that I'd be missing from school, what kind of restrictions I would have, what I would be allowed to do in school, and what kind of workload I would be able to handle.
And having the support of John from Ask to be with you as far as the parent side of it, to make sure, you know, everything is looking right and, you know, teachers are aware and the proper questions are being asked.
And if it wasn't for that support, I don't know if I would have passed 6th grade. But it set me up for the future.
The relationship was always important, and today that's the mission of Ask, is rapport and relationships.
It's so awesome to see how much she's opened up and asked and through the events, because at one point, if it wasn't her cousins,
She just played by herself.
She played by herself. She'll
play around other kids.
She play around them, or you might get her to play for a second and then off on her own. But she comes to these events, she just really sees friends, sisters, people who she just genuinely wants to have fun with.
You know, everyone from Ask and the hospital staff, and she's grown such a relationship with everyone. Everyone knows her. She's comfortable there. I mean, to see her dancing on the dance floor with the Ask representatives and stuff, and she's just all out living her best life.
Yeah.
That was amazing to me, because that wasn't Zuri. Their involvement and their support and how they love on Zuri when she goes to the hospital and she knows these people by name. They've become a part of her life and she has embraced them. And because of that, they cause my granddaughter to blossom and to enjoy life as a normal little girl should.
Well, I think they do everything that we don't as medical staff. I mean, our focus is on, therapies and side effects and kind of the nitty-gritty, but Ask just wraps their hands around the whole family, the siblings, the parents, financial support, education support, transportation support, funds for families in need.
The staff at Ask, they put themselves in each person's place, and then they think, what would that person or that family need from us?
Every time we're in a situation, it seems like
They right
y'all
on
are
time.
right on time with a solution for us.
No matter what you're going through, they always know. It just seemed like that. No matter whether we're talking about it, it just seemed like an Ask person always walk into the room at the right time.
If people ask me what Ask is, I sort of say they're angels spreading kindness.
For me, just when I think that we've exhausted Ask, they're offering something else to me, and I'm just like, I'm just so grateful because they truly have everything planned out, and they're so organized. Everyone's so passionate and so loving, and they care about what they do.
From a purely medical standpoint, we have come a long way. In some of the childhood malignancies, cure rates are actually closing in on near 100%.
If you had leukemia in the 90s, you weren't going to make it. And then in 2000, that protocol changed and kids started living. I think nowadays you see more and more kids living and surviving, but also they're left with more and more side effects from their treatments. It's a great thing to see. But what I do think is people don't realize that even though they're done with treatments, sometimes that support leaves. They don't have the resources that they're used to, and it's like a Band-Aid's ripped off. It's a void left in you because they do become life part of your family. And then you're going to them daily for a year and a half or 2 years, however long your protocol is. And then all of a sudden, they're not there. You're gone. You're out. You're done. You're on your own. And I think Ask steps up to the plate big time because Ask doesn't leave the kids behind. No matter how long you've been on treatments, Ask is there for you.
It's around the whole family.
It's the whole family. They want everybody to be able to experience them, and I think y'all truly perfected that.
Cancer is more than just cells in your body. I think it affects the whole family, and Ask helps keep those pieces together.
If I have to say, I would say, once asked, you always ask forever.
I wish I could live forever because I want to see what Ask is going to do in the far, far future.
Me too, Alma. Me too.